Another glide into Rocksteady Studios' formula of how superhero games should be done, or is it? On a quick glance and even lengthy playing, Batman Arkham City plays just like its predecessor. The art style is still exactly the same, the controls are exactly the same, the voices, thank God, have not been changed, and the basic premise, although with a few tweaks here and there, has not been changed. However, there has been changes made that could affect or even hinder this high-caliber superhero game. It feels as though Rocksteady Studios lazily made this game. I mean, yes, it looks stunning, and the story is great, but then so was the first game. It's really not hard for you to take the same code and add it into another game. The game plays like a combination of Assassin's Creed, with the many trophies and riddles to solve, Prince of Persia with the need for split-second timing with gliding around onto the many pressure switches, and obviously Arkham Asylum. Adding into a great game two other great franchises is all well and good, so long as you do it right. Batman Arkham City, however, doesn't. For example, when you're in tight corners, the camera loves to stick on Batman's shoulders constantly, which can be a real burden, not just when floating about, but when you have goons hurling objects your way and you just can't see it, it can be a real pain. Also, Batman likes to cling on for dear life to anything he can get his hands on, which means when trying to dart away from armed goons and you run into a wall, instead of leaping off like he should do, sometimes he will just hold on and happily take lead. The controls are quick, yes, but the character isn't. Okay, it's only a few seconds off the button press, but a few seconds can lead to an easy death in this game. Sometimes the Batclaw will just not attach to a gargoyle, despite the fact that just 2 seconds ago it did. It's issues like this that if there ever was another game, I wouldn't mind seeing being fixed. The story as well is incredibly short. Seriously, you can hit this one out of the ballpark in less than 8 hours. There may be 40 plus hours of gameplay, but not 40 plus hours of storyline. It feels that as unique and as different as Rocksteady Studios started off with in the first game, that fame may have gone to their heads, as they have also done what most publishers are doing these days, by filling out short story modes with collectathons, challenges, and time trials. Now, I don't see a problem with this, so long as you don't charge £40 odd for a game that clearly could work better as a rental. The game feels like it could have been an add-on pack for the time spent in the story. It just seems to be the same old story. Great story, if brief, followed by large amounts of collecting and very small amounts of side quests. It does feel like a bit of a COD flaw, focusing less on the story and more on multiplayer, or in this case, the collection modes. All the bad points aside, it does have its moments, and it is a great Batman game, as expected. The character designs are fantastic, though I personally didn't like the look of Penguin. The combat flows just as well as it did in Arkham Asylum, and feels more like a ballet of dodging and countering than an all-out brawler, and the Bat gadgets are just as cool, though I would have liked to have seen more storyline with the characters that you bump into. Two-Face appears at the beginning, but just ceases to even make his second appearance, and despite the fact you gain a huge roster of models and information on other Batman characters, only over a quarter of them actually make it into the game. I personally would wait until a price drop, or at least rent it, because despite its promise of scale and size, it just becomes a game of back and forth, before a surprising yet non-climactic ending in which you're wondering if there could have been more. The game, however, is well worth a play, and still holds its own as to how good superhero games should be made, but I still stand by for a game to thrust Arkham Asylum out of the limelight, because even if it is the older brother here, it still feels technically superior to its sibling in every way.